Good evening, and welcome to the Daily News Update. I'm Amaka. Tonight, we turn our attention to a growing controversy surrounding statements made by Nigeria's top intelligence chief and the legal treatment of a prominent separatist leader. The Director General of the Department of State Services, Oluwatosin Ajayi, week ago urged Nigerians to take greater responsibility for their own safety. Citing past incidents in Bauchi State where local communities repelled Boko Haram attacks, Ajayi stated that security forces alone cannot protect every corner of the country. He called on citizens to act as the first line of defense against terrorism and criminal activity.
I'll share experience with you when I was state director in Bauchi. Most of you will remember an incident in Azari. A group of terrorists, the Boko Haram, then had invaded Azari. They were shooting in an attempt to kidnap, and the community chased them. They killed some members of the community, but the community members killed all of them. The last guy, Khalid, climbed onto a tree and was firing. The community stood, they were resilient, and they killed Khalid. Since that day, there has not been one terrorist attack in Azari. As a matter of fact, the former head of state, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, said, and I quote, "If we want to stop or curb this terrorism, we should emulate the Azari example." Tafawa Balewa also happened to be a local government in Bauchi that was always in flames. And the people of Bogoro and some part of Tafawa Balewa, where the Sayawas are, rose up on one occasion. They knew their terrain better, climbed onto trees and mountains. And when the invaders came, they did not only repel them, they seized their weapons. And since then, you can attest to it that you hardly hear about Tafawa Balewa again. What I'm trying to say, the practical approach to mobilizing people, is that you have to get everyone involved. You do not expect the Nigerian Army, police, DSS, to protect every Nigerian or every community. It is not going to work. And that is the layer we have to start thinking about. How can you create first line of defense? The military, police, and other security agencies are to deal with the bigger ones, the organized ones. But it is impossible for us to deploy to every community in the country. It is unimaginable that any security agencies that has the resources to do it. So as we live here, we all belong to one community or the other. What we have to start experimenting is how we can make the community to prepare first, if the first line of defense for us. That security starts from you.
This statement has now sparked fierce criticism from the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. Aloy Ejemaker, special counsel to Kanu, took to social media to highlight what he calls a glaring double standard. Ejemaker argued that Kanu is currently detained and being prosecuted for making a similar remark, urging self-defense, which authorities cited as incitement and grounds for designating IPOB as a terrorist organization. In a post on X, Ejemaker wrote, quote, "Defend yourselves is the same thing Matsi Nnamdi Kanu said that was twisted to justify his extraordinary rendition and charging him for incitement of violence. It's also the same thing that led to the prescription of IPOB and the hounding of young Igbos as terrorists."
People must come out to say that enough is enough. When you travel to the north, do you live in the forest in the north? The Igbo people are in Sabangari in Kanu. Are they living of course, it's house land? Are they living in the forest? They came to the town. They work very hard. They build houses. They build mansions. They develop the entire place. Is that not what they do? What are Fulani people doing in our forest? Nobody can answer that question. They say that they're pastoralists. I'm asking you a simple question. Show me a country that aspires to be in the 21st century, moving cattle from place to place, telling me they're grazing. Which country is that? Please tell me. If you don't rise up now to fight for your freedom, by the time Fulanis are done with you, you'll be more useless than a Hausa peasant.
Nnamdi Kanu remains in detention as his legal team continues to challenge the legitimacy of the charges against him and the manner of his arrest and extradition. The comment by the DSS chief has reignited debate over freedom of speech, equal justice, and the treatment of pro-Biafra activists in Nigeria. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you updates as they develop.